No one ever sat me down and taught me how to budget, not at school or at home. And for a long time, I thought that was on me. I was making decent money and still had almost nothing left before payday, with no real idea where it went. I was tired of guessing, tired of avoiding it, and I had a real goal that just always felt out of reach. The problem was real, and it was mine to fix. I just didn't have the tools to fix it yet. My name's Isaac, and I created The Art of Budgeting, which enabled me to pay off thousands in loans and credit card debt using one strategy. I learned because I had to, and that's what this video is about. So, several years ago, I bought a car I couldn't really afford. I told myself the payment was fine. I also didn't factor in that a nicer car doesn't just mean a higher loan payment, it also means higher insurance every single month. That is how ignorant I was. I never compared what my old car cost to insure versus the new one. I just upgraded and assumed it'd all work out itself. On top of that, I was buying a new phone every year and eating out all the time, constantly. None of it felt like a big deal, but it was quietly draining hundreds of dollars a month I never accounted for. That was my problem, and those were my choices. What I didn't have was any framework to see what those choices were adding up to. No baseline or process, just assumptions. And assumptions aren't a plan. Nobody ever sat me down and taught me how to budget, not in school or at home. If that's true for you too, this isn't about blame. The problem is real. It's yours to solve. You just don't have the tools to solve it yet. That's a different thing than failing at it. What I know now is what I wasn't taught, not in any class I sat in. How a car loan actually works, what interest does to a balance you're only paying the minimum on, how to tell every dollar where to go before the month starts. None of it. You graduate, you get a job, you start making real money, and you're just expected to figure it out. And then most people don't figure it out, they just survive it. And surviving looks like making decent money, but feeling broke anyway. And carrying enough shame to avoid looking closely at the real numbers. That shame is worth naming. It's the thing that kept me stuck for years. Checking my account felt like confirming something bad about myself rather than just looking at data. So I avoided it for years. Once I actually faced the numbers, the full picture of what I owed, where the money was going, what every dollar was doing before the month even started, I paid off $14,000 in loans and credit card debt. Not because I made more money or because my income changed, but because my understanding of the problem changed. That's the shift. That's what the tools do. If you were never taught how to budget, you have a gap. A gap means nobody ever showed you what to do in the first place. You can't push through that gap. You got to fill it in. And that's what I did with one method. That method is zero-based budgeting. Every dollar gets a job before the month starts. You decide where it goes instead of finding out after it's already gone. Once I had that, the problem I'd been living with for years had a solution, and that's what I teach. So, is there any specific money topic you realize nobody actually ever explained to you? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. I would really like to know. If you want to fill that gap, I put together a free 7-day budget reset. All it is, it's an email a day, just one, and it's one action a day, no spreadsheets, no generic methods. It starts with your real income, it builds a real budget, and it finds what's quietly draining you. And it ends with a written plan for your debt. The link is in the description. Again, it's free 7 days. By the end, you'll have something most people never build, a budget built around your real numbers, not some generic template. Again, I'm Isaac, and I'll see you in the next one.